Rob Schmidt, this shows how sick and twisted Democrats in the mainstream media are. They redacted the victim's name because they knew that releasing it would destroy their narrative. They redacted Virginia Giuffre's name because in her own depositions and memoir, she stated that Donald Trump never did anything wrong and was a perfect gentleman.
Hey guys, big headline this morning about Epstein and Trump and this underage victim that Trump reportedly spent hours with. If anything proves to you just how vile the people that we're dealing with are, how disgusting the media is, and how aligned the Democrat agenda is with the broader mainstream media. The story is everywhere. New York Times, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, every cable channel. This is the front page. This is the big top story. And it alleges something absolutely heinous, that Trump spent hours at his house with one of the victims of Epstein. And it just leaves it right there because they just want you to see that headline. Trump spent hours with a victim. Oh, what comes into your head when you think about that headline? That's exactly what they want you to do. Here's the problem, and this is how disgusting these people are. They redact the name of the alleged victim, and they did that for a reason, because the name of that victim would blow up their whole story. So they redact that part. Republicans were quick to unmask that redaction. The name is Virginia Giuffre, a young lady who, in depositions and also in her own memoir, a book that she wrote, said that Donald Trump never did anything wrong and was a perfect gentleman the entire time. They conceal that, and now your entire X feed and the media are all just out there alleging, oh, this is the smoking gun. See, he's a pedophile. This is how sick and twisted these people are. They are vile creatures.
Indeed. Indeed, they are, my friends, and it is demoralizing. We've got this clip.
This is an email from April 2nd.
Jasmine Crockett, how does she respond to the fact that Democrats tried framing Donald Trump?
This is an email from April 2nd, 2011. Republicans were saying that that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's been very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that, and can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No, I understand,
Okay,
but I'm just saying, like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims, and obviously, she wrote a book, she told her truth.
This is an email from April 2nd.
So Jasmine Crockett, of course, trying to make the claim that, I don't believe it. The name's redacted, so who knows who it could have been. It was Virginia.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. You don't hate the media enough. This is disgusting. Again, this is the links the media is willing to go. It's about the narrative. Again, Virginia Giuffre has been unredacted for a long time. She wrote a book a long time ago now. And again, this is about spinning a narrative to make it seem like Donald Trump's a bad guy, like Donald Trump's a pedophile. That's what this is. And Democrats are just going along with it. Again, Jasmine Crockett calling Jennifer Giuffre a liar on TV. It's like, oh, well, we don't know why they redacted it. It's like, we know exactly why they redacted it.
Exactly. We know for a fact that they just wanted they wanted the words in the media that said Trump spent hours alone in his home with a victim. Not saying that, oh, he was helping her. Mm-hmm. That's what they wanted. They wanted that in the media. Trump, victim, alone and home for hours, which makes it sound like what? They were doing something untoward.
Yeah, again, uncouth. Yeah, you think, like, if you think the media's goal is truth and not power, I don't know what fantasy world you're living in. Again, I just pull up that other video I had. If you are not watching or consuming media from the right, we're about to show you exactly how your worldview is going to be shaped right now. Watch this video. This was a video put out just on some random news channel, just like some Channel 9 local news station. This is a pre-cut thing that they sent down, whatever their affiliate is, whether it be like ABC, NBC, whoever. They said, play this at this time because you're our local affiliate. And they were like, okay.
Yep. Check this out. This is what you're getting if you don't actively read the news and pay attention.
This is the worldview that will be shaped. This is how all of our liberal friends that we went to college with will think. This is what they will all think.
On Wednesday, the House Oversight Committee also released more than 20,000 emails related to the Epstein investigation. President Trump was named in several of them. The most noteworthy ones suggest Trump spent time at Epstein's home and was aware of Epstein's alleged behavior. The president has long denied those claims. The White House says the emails are a distraction and maintains the president did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Imagine if that's all you got. Imagine if you're not on right-wing Twitter. Imagine if you're not following other sources like Tim Pool, like Ben Shapiro, The Daily Wire, Steven Crowder. Imagine you're not following any of them, and you're just passively following left-wing people. People like Vosh, Kyle Kalinske, Hassan Piker, Destiny, all these people. They are jumping on that going, yeah, we knew it. We knew it all along. He's a bad guy.
Yep.
This is disgusting.
This is what we talk about with the Smith and Mont Act.
Yeah.
It's like the Democrats are literally using the media to propagandize people into being riotous and violent against their political opponents, which would be conservatives, Republicans, anybody that actually seems to love America at this point and likes the truth. It's like the Democrats are trying to lie and manipulate to get their victories, and the Republicans are just like, can we just tell the truth, please?
Yeah. Again, I mean, and Jasmine Crockett getting up there and calling Jennifer Dufresne, a lady who already wrote a book about her experiences, a liar. I mean, like, we don't know who's redacted. She told her truth. And again, what does your truth mean?
Why we didn't want to say the victim's name because we're trying to protect the victims. Well, in this case,
no,
the
you're
victim
trying
is
to
deceased, so you're not protecting anybody.
Well, in this case, the victim's Donald Trump, and you're trying to incriminate him.
Yes.
That's what's going on here. Like, the real victim's Donald Trump, and everyone else is trying to incriminate. It's like, again, Donald Trump is a wealthy billionaire socialite. He's going to have met Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey Epstein is that's exactly what he was.
He was a New York billionaire
Socialite.
Yes, exactly.
They were going to have met.
They run in the same circles. Like, there is a reason why all the rich people in your town and your communities all know each other. It's because, guess what? They are working together because odds are they're working in businesses that have to meet at some point. It's like the concrete company is going to meet any person who's in construction.
Yep.
The construction company is going to meet anybody that's in realtors because guess what? They have to freaking meet with realtors
They're
to
gonna
build
have to
homes.
meet with the oil man. It's like, hey, man, I need to either the concrete guy's going to build something for the oil guy, or the oil guy's going to be delivering some, petroleum to you.
Exactly.
That business person.
There's a reason why rich people always seem to like run into each other. It's because they have to. They're going to be working with each other constantly.
But again, it's just like, it's guilt by association. That is exactly how everything works now. It's like, oh, well, they knew each other, therefore they're bad people. It's like, he flew on the plane one time. It's like, okay, how many millionaires offer other millionaires rides on their planes? Because they want to be business partners, business associates.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to work out.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings me to the next topic that we're going to bring up is if you want a more fair breakdown or what you want to think as a fair breakdown of this, I have Vodzilla here, or Voidzilla, and he has a good breakdown of the files. This guy is not a Trump supporter. I can tell you that from watching his videos, and I am subscribed to him, he does have a twinge of Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Because he does not like Donald Trump. But pretty much he says, even he goes into this here and says that Trump's almost vindicated. But that's why he says, he goes, but this vindicates Trump, but it's weird that he doesn't want to release the rest. So that's where his twinge of Trump derangement syndrome. So why won't he just release the files? Why won't he just release the files? I go, because odds are there's something in there. Again, it's like what I said. Once you've touched the Epstein files and you probably realize how truly hot they are. Remember, once you've released your leverage against the world, you don't have it anymore. Once you've given it up, it's gone.
Yep.
So I would say that there is probably something in there that maybe they don't want the world to know.
Yep.
So we'll see. But anyway, we'll let him do his little take on this, and when I kind of get bored with it, or if you just want to move on, we'll move on. But the first part of this is like the epic part. And it also indicates Hillary Clinton was also having an affair while
with somebody she killed.
yeah,
Somebody on the Clinton body count.
Exactly. So check this out.
Yeah. And before you start this real quick, it's just hilarious that this was released and within 24 hours it was debunked. But again, if you're on the left, you don't know it's debunked. You don't think, or you don't know it's debunked. You don't think it's debunked, or you don't care if it's debunked.
Yep.
Those are the options right now. So, sorry, we'll go ahead and...
Yeah, let's get this started.
Today we're talking about the 20,000 Epstein Files that got released. It's a complicated picture involving a lot of powerful people, but let me just say right up front, this is an ongoing story. There's a lot that's going to be released in the coming days, so just understand we're going to do our best to explain what has been happening, because this story has been full of twists and turns. It starts with the Democrats releasing 3 emails from the Jeffrey Epstein estate. One says that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. A victim spent hours at my house with him. Another says, the victim, Mar-a-Lago, Trump says he asked me to resign. Never a member ever, Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine Maxwell to stop. And then the third email is from Michael Wolff talking about Jeffrey Epstein's association with Trump, saying you can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it looks like he really could win, you could save him generating a debt, basically implying the idea that Epstein would have some kind of compromising information on Trump. But that was just the start of it, because then after that, the GOP came out swinging and they said Democrats whine about releasing the files, but they only cherry pick when they have them to generate clickbait. You deserve the full truth. And then they released over 20,000 files. Some of it had to do with Trump, some of it didn't. Importantly, 2 of the emails that were in there were some of the ones that the Democrats released, except they were unredacted in the GOP copy. And these lack of redactions are obviously very intentional. So we see first, I want you to realize the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. And then it says...
Again, intentional, implying that they knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted this to look like a hit job against Trump.
Yeah.
They want to make Trump look bad.
They intentionally redacted Virginia Giuffre's name. Virginia Giuffre, who's been out open and in the public for years now, intentionally redacted it so they could make Trump look like a bad guy. Trump spent hours with the victim. Evil.
Virginia spent hours at my house with him. Now, that name is really important because it's Virginia Giuffre. She was the Prince Andrew accuser, but importantly, she did not accuse Trump, rather saying that he couldn't have been friendlier. This obviously is one of the main reasons the GOP appears to have released this, because in part, they're implying that, hey, if you release this redacted, people are going to speculate who this victim was, thinking that there was something that happened, but actually the person that's in there didn't accuse Trump of something illegal. And so this is sort of the implication here with the Democrats saying, well, you're unredacting a victim's name. So that's been the battle there. Specifically, the second email, by the way, just further confirms it. It says blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. She was one of the ones that accused Prince Andrew. In the Democrat copy, all of that was redacted because, of course, it gives away the fact that we are talking about, once again, Virginia Giuffre. Also, in these emails released by the Republicans, it says, blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. Trump knew of it, came to my house many times. He never got a massage. That's straight from Jeffrey Epstein clearing him of a massage, which obviously is the one person you most don't want to get a massage from. So honestly, that is good for him, which is obviously why they released it. Begging the question why they didn't release it sooner. Maybe it's because they didn't want people to know that Trump knew about the girls. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the fact that Epstein is saying, hey, look, Trump publicly said that it was me that he asked to stop, but actually it was Ghislaine that he asked to stop. And my question here is, if it is Maxwell that was the one who poached Virginia Giuffre from Mar-a-Lago and then trafficked her, then why is she getting so much special treatment? I mean, that is the part where the Republicans don't look good at all. I mean, what is going on with Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted sex offender, trying to get a pardon, getting Todd Blanche to give her a softball interview, and then she immediately gets preferential treatment? Look, we've been over the fact that she's at basically a special prison in Bryan, Texas, where normally someone of her status wouldn't be allowed to go to because it's too nice, it's too low security. But in addition to that, new reports are saying that top officials at Camp Bryan are sick of being Maxwell's bitch. Federal law enforcement staff working at the camp have been waiting on Maxwell hand and foot, including, by the way, reportedly she's been given a puppy as part of the preferential treatment she's been receiving. Overwhelmingly, Maxwell has been getting a super nice ride in all of this. This, of course, makes us all wonder, once again, what...
Now, this is where I say this is where that twinge of Trump derangement syndrome is coming in. But again, it is weird that they are treating this lady with kid gloves. But the problem is what he doesn't realize is everyone has always treated women prisoners and women, convicts with kid gloves compared to dudes. Like, if you find out that a dude, you hear what happens to, dudes who, criminals that are found out to be, child assaulters or child rapists in prison, they usually get killed.
Yeah.
They are beaten to death or usually, killed or beaten
Jared,
into a black hole.
stabbed, 40 times by people while he was in prison?
Yes, exactly. So, like I said, but that's the point. It's
Jared, the subway guy.
Yeah. But, that's the point is, women get treated with kid gloves at every corner.
But here's another thing that you're missing and that he's missing, too. What's the scandal with this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing? What deal did the Democrats approach Jeffrey Epstein with? You remember?
That's true.
They said, hey, if you just implicate Trump, You get us something that we can implicate him and convict him on, we're going to make all these charges go away for you, Jeff. The Democrat prosecutors approached Jeffrey Epstein with that information. They're like, yeah, no, if you can help us get Trump convicted, we will absolutely make sure your charges go away.
Exactly, but that's my point. Is like that. Why is he choosing to focus in on this now? On this, like this is where I said his Trump derangement is coming. Like, we're focusing in on how Ghislaine's being treated. She's not being treated like she's a criminal anymore. It's like, well, she's still in jail. She's still being that, but yeah, she gets a puppy. She's getting certain treatments probably for more information that she gives out. But anyway, we'll get back to this. This is just so interesting. You let me know when you get
again. But it's right. She's probably playing ball with people. Like we're getting more dirt on more people that the government can use leverage on now.
Yep.
So again, whether or not you like that tactic or not, it's a tactic that it's going to work.
Yeah.
She's going to get more preferential treatment the more people she gives up.
Yep. What's the old saying? You attract more flies with honey rather than vinegar. So we can go the Russian communist route of like, let's continue torturing them until they tell us whatever information we want, or we can go with the whole let's be nice to them and they'll start to come around eventually.
Yep.
Those are the two options when it comes to getting information from people.
Do they have on Trump? Why treat her like this if she doesn't have something compromising in all of that? It just kind of begs some questions you probably don't want to ask. Also very suspicious is the fact that immediately after this report came out, Trump personally called Rep. Lauren Boebert, urging her to withdraw support for releasing the Epstein Files. Bondi, Blanche, and Patel, we're going to meet today about the Epstein Files. This, of course, is furthering the idea the White House has no interest in the story. I think Trump tweeted multiple times today about the Epstein hoax. Again, we've heard that a million times. And the question is, why are you acting so suspicious if you have nothing to hide, right? If you didn't get the massage, which Epstein says, why? What are you hiding? Why are you so worried about all this stuff coming out? By the way,
Again,
Press Secretary Carol...
This is where he needs to entertain the fact it might not be about releasing the files. It might be about keeping leverage over certain people who are in the files, whether that be other Republicans, they can get Republicans to vote their way, or it would be over Democrats who they can utilize this like, hey, we know this about you.
I would say foreign entities.
Or foreign entities, exactly. Like I said, imagine like if this whole Prince Andrew thing, it's like, hey, we're going to release the video of Prince Andrew. It's like they're like, how about no?
Yeah, well, don't you think that it's a little strange that what's his name, Keir Starmer, became very friendly with Donald Trump, shortly
overnight
after this expose thing happened not too long ago? I would say that's probably what it is. I think that that's why he's backtracked on this. There is stuff in there that they do not want to just let be released anymore.
Yeah.
I think that Trump is innocent in all this, but I think that he is backtracked saying, yeah, we don't want to release this stuff. And two, if you want to give him the most benefit of the doubt, this is still an active investigation. They're still recovering information from this.
Well, I think it's just Trump's a shrewd negotiator and a shrewd businessman. And if you give up, if you show your enemy your cards, you don't have leverage over your enemy anymore. Again, if he keeps the Epstein files and uses them as that's leverage the American government has forever over whatever foreign enemies we have or allies.
Yep.
So again, it might be why the terror stuff is happening the way it's happening. It's like people are playing ball because do you want us to release this stuff in the Epstein files?
Yep.
They're like, yeah, you know what? No, we don't.
Yeah, 100%.
Caroline Leavitt was actually asked about the White House pressuring people to get them not to sign for the release of the Epstein Files, and her response was pretty insane.
Why are White House officials then meeting with Representative Boebert in an effort to try and get her to not sign this petition calling for the release of the files?
Doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please? Doesn't that show our level of transparency? Doesn't that show the level of transparency when we are willing to sit down with members of Congress and address their concerns?
It shows transparency to try to go and block files being released on the world's most prolific. But the fact we know about it, that's the transparent part. It's just insane. That's the kind of spin we've expected with this story all along. That's been part of what's been so frustrating about all of this. So, look, I want to get back to the story because there's so many people involved here. We're just going to go through one by one. Look, it's a lot more than just Trump. One person that got kind of a weird stray in all of this was the fact that Epstein talked about Hillary doing naughties with Vince. Vince being Vince Foster, a White House counsel. There was a rumor about Clinton and Vince having some kind of affair, and then later Vince was found dead of suicide. And this is where we see
the Epstein Files. We find out that the Clinton death toll. Clearly has she was possibly having an affair with this dude. Why are we not surprised?
It has some validity, Again, it's it's crazy. Honestly, it makes Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton look worse than Trump does.
Yes.
And the thing that he has to spin it is like, well, it looks bad because Trump just won't release it. Do we want the Epstein Files released? Yes, we do. It would be great if we could just release all that. But looking at it from a business perspective, I understand why they wouldn't release it. This has been my opinion on it the whole time. Should it be released? Yes. Do I understand why the U.S. government would not want to release it? Sure. Leverage is everything in this, CIA-style world we live in. Again, it's all about using dirt you have on people in order to get them to do things you want them to do. So I understand why they wouldn't want to release it.
Yep.
I mean, this is a generational thing. I mean, like, this is generational info that they could hold kids. Like, let's say other billionaires went to the island, right? You could hold their kids hostage forever. It's like, do you want us to tarnish your dad's legacy by releasing this information? And like, no, I don't, because that will topple this business empire.
Yes, exactly. Like, if people found out that there was, I'm just going to use one. I'm not saying, I'm not implicating.
Yeah, he's not implicating. Yeah. This is an example.
Yeah, as I say, like, people found out that the Coca-Cola CEO was on the Epstein Island and actually participated in these things. You would probably see people like, we're a Pepsi family.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, boycott Coke forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Coca-Cola is implicated because I love Coca-Cola, but like, that's what would happen. The American people, or at least people with good values in America, would be like, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
I mean, people would probably quit the company, or it's like, again, overnight a company would go out of business, losing however many jobs Coca-Cola employs.
Yeah,
it's the same with all the banks. It's the same with any type of business. Like, if they found out that those people went to those islands.
Yep.
That's what would happen. They're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, I mean, the entire economy would collapse if we put all this information out.
Yep. Exactly.
Which is a scary thought too.
Yep.
Because that's how many people Epstein had in his contact list. He knew a lot of people. He knew celebrities. He knew other billionaires. It's like you just say, hey, come to my island. There's going to be a bunch of hot young girls there, and they'll all be willing to do whatever you want. And, a geeky billionaire being like, really?
Yeah. Which, this just goes to show the hypocrisy of the Democrats, like left and right, which is why I pulled up this meme. I'm pretty sure we showed this one before, but the government is shut down. People are suffering, and it's all Trump's fault. And it's Democrats finally vote to reopen the government. No, we can't cave into fascism.
Yeah, pick one. It can't change at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, but this is what we talk about, like, constantly, is that the Democrats are always doing these terrible, terrible things. Like, here's this cartoon of it right here. Let them go! And, it's him holding, the poor EBT, people who need help from their government hostage. It's like, okay, I give up. And then it shows, like, a Democratic blue-haired, supporter being like, don't be weak, keep the hostages.
Golly. SKS cartoons, so good.
He's good. But getting back to this, like, here we are. We'll talk about this just real quick. Is Nancy Pelosi just leaving office? She's finally saying that she's retired because she's finally milked all the money she can out of the American people. And remember, she went into Congress. I mean, this is the problem. It's like, all Democratic politicians go into Congress or go into whatever organization poor. And then they come out millionaires. So if anybody is, like, truly screwing you over, Democrats, it's your politicians. Like, remember, Trump left office with less money than he was before he got into office. That's the only politician that has ever left office poorer than when they got in.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. So check this out. We're going to just talk about the Pelosi, how much Nancy Pelosi has, like, scammed out of the American system.
Pelosi made $130 million in stock profits during Congress' career. It's a return of 16,930%. Here's some of the details. She came in 1987. She was 47 years old. At the time, they reported a net worth of around $610,000.
That's still quite a bit.
Now that portfolio has soared to $133 million. 38 years in Congress, almost 17,000% return. Your thoughts, Jack?
So she's always known how corruption can work in politics, and she's turned that into a business. And really, I think it's something where, look, I'm not afraid to say that I completely agree with AOC on this, that it just shows you how corrupt our system has become. It shows you that these guys are looting the country as they drive us into decline. They understand that it's the fall of Rome.
Nancy Pelosi made $130 million.
Yeah. Again, that's so sad, but it's so true. Again, and it seems to be this way with a lot. It's like the minute you get into Congress or get into the Senate, they appoint you some like Jeffrey Epstein, investment guy that comes in and tells you this is what you're going to invest in, and these are the bills you're going to vote on, and you're going to be in the door of this company before anybody else gets in it.
It's worse than that, because it's like, if you look back, Democrats during the Obama administration really started pushing electric vehicles. Guess what? They all started heavily investing in the moment they started pushing for those bills.
Tesla, electric cars, all that crap.
Exactly. So you are literally making the law. So you know to buy stock in a company as it's getting started, and then
we're going to give subsidies to this company in order to make sure that they're going to get off the ground.
So you're literally rigging the game. It's like, whereas the American person is like, I don't think that that's going to take off. Like I work in the oil field, or I work for, Ford. Like, we're not going to change up, to electric vehicles or whatever. So by that point, the politicians have bought in, and they're already pushing the laws, and that's the thing. They keep continuing to push that. I mean, the only time that the Democrats became anti-electric is when Elon Musk switched to Donald Trump in the last election.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing, too. It's not just that. It's as simple as, hey, here's the one that really bothers me, even locally. Like I kind of have a problem with Mark Wayne Mullen for doing this. So they get to choose who bids on the contract. They select, so they'll invest in whatever company that's going to win that bid, and they'll be like, "Oh, we know that this company's probably going to win that bid." It's like he already invested in that company. That company somehow wins the bid, and then they are going to update the infrastructure with electric meters or whatever. So whatever company he invested in is the one responsible for putting in these electric meters or whatever this new technology is for the infrastructure. And it's all of a sudden you just see 100% increase in profits in that company.
Imagine that. The people who have the stake into pushing the agenda in the right direction know which company is probably going to win the bid. How fascinating. Who would have guessed? Anyway, but this next one is, again, you think that Democrats love illegals. We just want to help these poor immigrants just, Again, it's just this hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. They're doing slave labor from Tim Pool. Why is it that children were being used as slaves to grow marijuana in California? Corporate press acted like it was no big deal. Chicago gangs issue shoot-on-sight orders for DHS agents, and the corporate media doesn't care. Check this out.
Chicago have issued shoot-on-sight orders to their members for DHS agents. That is, they have been instructed to kill DHS agents. We have seen already one breaking story where a shooting happened in Chicago. The gunman is at large. I never thought it was going to be instantly overnight a battlefield. People shooting like crazy. It's always gradually and then suddenly, which would mean if we follow particular trends in other countries, we are very, very close to shootings breaking out. Now, what we're seeing in Chicago is these people are attacking ICE agents. They are using sabotage, improvised devices to disable vehicles, helping illegal immigrants escape vehicles. And then, in some of these instances, we actually have a big story over this past weekend of a shooting. Not the first time. Several months ago, I think it was in California, a man opened fire on DHS agents who were freeing child slaves from a drug farm. Not kidding. That's where we're at. Now, the strange thing is, why isn't this like the biggest story in the country?
Yeah.
Why is it that when children were being used as slaves to grow marijuana in California, the corporate press acted like it was no big deal? Gangs in Chicago.
And again, this is what bothers me. is how the media, and they, this is why I like the way Tim Pool talks about the Civil War. Like, most of the country doesn't even realize the country's involved in a civil war. Everyone always thinks the Civil War is, we're going to be marching in line in lockstep and walking down the streets and shooting at each other in rows. It's like, no. The Civil War will look like 13 hours in Benghazi. Most of the country won't even know anything's happening. It'll just be a small group of people, a small group of well-organized people going in to attack a certain area, and then they'll leave. Again, it's like whenever Tonto was running around on the street, and they're like going, there's dudes out here watching a soccer game. It's like, yeah, it's just another Tuesday night in Benghazi.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be like here, too. Like, everyone's like,
it's like gang wars. Like, we're not involved in it. Like I said, the people around, like, it doesn't involve us. Said, I'm just going to go to work tomorrow morning. Like, whereas in the street, there's a huge fight, or at least a small little skirmish, and then everybody goes back their separate ways.
Yeah.
That's how engagements are. It's not like everyone likes to think of it like in the World War II Civil War type matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to take this territory and just keep moving forward until we can't anymore.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, that's not how it works.
Again,
anymore.
after the revolution in Egypt, everybody left Egypt and they flew out on planes. Like, the airport didn't shut down because the government got overthrown. People had already had their tickets. The schedules of the flights had already been planned. Like, a group of people didn't walk in and go, hey, the economy's shutting down because I said so. It's like, no, the business as usual. The only place that was affected was the people who were being overthrown or taken out in the coup.
People have this notion of, I call it like the end game, like the end game in World War II. Like, everyone likes to look at Japan in World War II and Germany in World War II. It's like, we see Germany at the end of World War II. All the buildings are bombed out. They're on the brink trying to hold back the Russians and the Americans on both sides. And, they're fighting for their lives in the streets. It's like, that's not how it is. It's like, for the beginning of the war, it's going to be like how it is at the beginning of the war. Like, business is normal. It's like how it is here, like during the Iraq war, during the GWAT.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone here it's business as normal. The only people who are affected by the war and the GWAT were people whose families were actually deployed over there.
Yeah.
Those are the only people who knew that something was different about their lives.
Yeah.
So
the rest of you, it's like the COVID kill count. Like, you were just watching the number of soldiers who died in the conflict on the TV.
Yeah. It's like, oh, no, we lost some soldiers the other day. Oh, no. That's about as far as it goes. It's like literally like how the Vietnam War was. Like, people looked up their TV, saw the news. Oh, that's bad. Go right back to eating dinner.
Yes.
Like, your day did not change. The only time you're going to notice when it's affecting you is when you attack the economy directly. Like, I can't go to work today because of gas shortages or whatever. Or, there's bombing raids today. I can't go to work because we have to hide in the shelter or whatever.
Which, this new war is not going to be like that.
Yeah.
It's fifth generation warfare. It's warfare done through social media propaganda.
Exactly. But which brings me to this next one, is like, we wonder why we're having, it's like what we always say. It's liberals and conservatives are watching the same TV, but they're seeing two different movies. And this is how it's happening. Is like,
I don't even know that. I think we're watching the same movie, but we're coming to two radically different conclusions at the end of the film.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm kind of getting at here, is like, here is what college kids think. This is how the media has truly manipulated the minds of kids. And this guy right here, I love this professor bringing up these deep conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see, like, how he just radically debunks all the lies from, like, the BLM and the mainstream media narratives that we've been getting for all these years.
Yeah.
Like, again, like, how radically different these numbers are. Just watch these kids. Just watch this. It's insane.
The people that got killed. Of 963, how many do you think were black?
600 will be black.
600.
And then, like, the rest will be, like, maybe Hispanic.
600 were black. What would you say?
Probably like 500.
Here we go.
So right there, 9 of 900 people in the last year who were killed by police. How many do you think were black? That girl said 600, and the black girl said 600. The white girl said 500. Let's go see. Okay. If you're only listening, it says of the 963 people killed by police in 2016 in the U.S., 65 were white, 223 were black, 160 were Hispanic, 15 were Asian, 16 were Native American, and then 74 were of unknown racial origins, or probably mixed race or racially ambiguous. Who knows?
This is a thinking class right now. I'm walking you through some thinking. Okay, go to the next one. So how many of the 963 people were unarmed? How many do you think were unarmed? Here we go. Go to the next slide.
Okay, so of those people, how many were unarmed? Of that 963, 517 had handguns, 150 had a knife, 665 were in a vehicle, 44 had a toy weapon, 70 had some other type of instrument like a bat, hammer, whatever, some type of dangerous
Spork.
object. Yeah, spork. And then 48 were unarmed and 69 were unknown, which means that they probably could not see them. They were so far away, or they were hiding behind something and they didn't know if they were armed or not. But regardless, that means 48 were confirmed unarmed of that 963 number. And these kids were convinced that those numbers were way higher. They were in the hundreds, the 500s, the 600s, ridiculous amounts. This is the issue, is kids think that the numbers are literally Matthew McConaughey from that. We got to pump those numbers up, man.
But I mean, it's also the bias in the media and in the Facebook algorithms. The Facebook knew that outrage sold. So police brutality videos got sent up in the algorithms. So when you see a million different variants of the same video over and over again of police brutality, you're like, oh, this is happening all the time everywhere, when it's really not. But outrage sells in algorithms.
Yep.
Because people are more likely to get motivated by what they're outraged by, and you're less likely to be outraged whenever you see a video of a cute puppy. Yep. Or an interaction of a police officer interacting with black kids where like the ones where they're PR videos for sure, but it's like where a police officer starts playing basketball with a group of kids. Like, they're out there, it's like, oh, he's going to shoot the kids. Like, no, he's out there shooting hoops with the kids. Like, people love that, but it doesn't generate the same type of aggressive enthusiasm that outrage does.
Yes. Yeah. Hate sells. Hate sells more than,
Sex and hate sell.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the same reason why there's a million bikini girls all over Instagram. Same reason that that police brutality videos sell.
Early YouTube back in the day proved that if you had a thumbnail of a girl in a bikini on your thing, you could get people to click on your video. And it was just literally and your video could have nothing to do with girls in bikinis, and it would still get clicks. So let's get back to this, see if there's anything else that we're missing in here.
So here are the numbers. You said 400 were unarmed. You said 500 were unarmed. What do you think about that number?
I'm actually kind of like shocked. I honestly thought I'm not saying the media, I don't know, they just made it seem like, the guy was innocent, It's crazy how 517 had a gun. I would think it would be less than that.
So 22 out of 233 black people who police killed in 2016 were unarmed. 22. So that means you have a 0.6 chance in a million of being unarmed, black skin, and killed by the police. If he stays unarmed, you say, bro, listen, in spite of how you're dressed, in spite of who you are, if you remain unarmed, right, that's the likelihood of you being killed by the police. If you're going to protest like that, but this whole thing is based on police violence against black and brown people. So if you're going to protest, really step out in this way, you got to know what you're protesting. Is it a genocide? So when I see someone holding a sign up that says, stop the genocide of black people at a protest, and I'm saying, I wouldn't call that a genocide. Who are the people that got killed?
Boom.
Of 900.
Again, this is a perfect example of a professor doing his job. He's not teaching them what to think, he's teaching them how to think, and he's arming them with the actual information. This is the world we live in. Again, all those kids are a reflection of our society. If that's what they think, that's probably what people who pass, that's what everyone who passes, because that's all college kids are. I was a passive consumer of the news in college. I didn't give a crap. I did not have my political awakening until after college.
Yep.
I knew that I saw a bunch of BS in college, but I really didn't care about it. I'm just trying to get my grades and get out of here. So again, this is what's so important. Those kids are a reflection of us, or at least the people who are passive consumers of the news. So, Scary thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the issue that we have is that the media is allowed to propagandize us now, thanks to the Obama administration. It passed in 2012, and they could do that. I mean, that's literally when we saw this huge, turnaround in the media of attacking conservative. I mean, the media was always more favored liberal candidates. We can see that from the 60s to now.
Mm-hmm.
But then Obama made it legal to where now they can actually just propagandize against the conservatives and Donald Trump and everybody else. We need to have this repealed back to where the media can't do this anymore. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a video that we're going to end out just talking about how the Democrats also use these young kids that we talk about on this all the time, that AstroTurf, and why these kids won't debate in person. There's a reason why you don't see. I mean, the first time, this is so true. It's like Hassan Piker will not go on anybody else's show because it was proven when they went to Politicon or whatever it was, the YouTube political, YouTube streamers or whatever. When Charlie Kirk debated Hassan Piker, he embarrassed him.
Well, it's not even that. It's like he's so dumb he doesn't realize he was getting embarrassed because he appealed to popularity. He goes, it doesn't matter. I'm more popular than you.
Yeah.
That was his argument. It's like, my ideas and I'm more popular than you. It doesn't matter if I win the debate. But he's not wrong in that fact. When you're a communist and a socialist, they're right. If our ideas are more popular than the truth, it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is popularity.
Yeah. But what's this guy's name, Corey? You like him a lot.
Oh, that's Andrew
Wilson.
Andrew Wilson. Yeah.
Andrew Wilson, talking about how come all these young and upcoming political commentators that are all TikTok stars or Instagram stars or influencers or whatever won't debate in person. It's because he's proven that they have a team of people that are literally typing as soon as they're debating that'll send them points. It's why they will only debate online.
Yes.
And he always tries to get these kids, and not kids, they're adults, but always tries to get these influencers to debate him in person. And they always refuse because they lose their team. They realize that they won't have a team of people to be able to talk them through their talking points. I mean, the reason why you've seen some of these kids get famous on Jubilee is because they know what the questions are. They come pre-prepared, which is why they seem like they're good to go. But that's the issue, is they know what the questions are. If you go into a debate with somebody and the conversation kind of gears towards a direction that they're not ready for, they're going to look stupid because they don't know. They only have points that they get from their handlers.
Yeah. And again, so before we close out here, you don't hate the media enough. This whole Donald Trump debunked thing that just came out today, where he spent hours in a room with a victim who, well, I mean, again, this is the media, something that was put out in public for the last 11 years or whatever. She wrote the book in 2011, right, or whatever, and she was talking with Donald Trump in 2011.
Yep.
And now they redacted her name so they could write this headline to implicate Trump. And it was debunked within 24 hours. But the media is not going to act like it's debunked. They put this information, this disinformation out, so their media talking heads like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert will go out on the show and be like, Donald Trump implicated. He spent hours in a room with a victim. I guess we know what kind of man he is now. Ha, 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 ha. We always knew who he was. That's what this is about. Yep. That right there. They have the political levers of power, and they know it, and they're desperately holding on to them as long as they can. And that's what's so disgusting. You don't hate the media enough. You do not hate the media enough. They don't care about the truth. They only care about power. And this is what they're going to do as they continue going forward. The truth doesn't matter. Yeah. That college professor showing the kids the reality of what's going on. That's what I wish we could do with my college friends. Whenever I see the dumb stuff they post, you're just like, ugh, how can you guys believe that? But we live in two different realities because they're consuming something in a bubble in their little algorithm, and I'm consuming stuff over here in their bubble. The only difference is we're forced to view their reality. Yeah. They're not forced to view our reality. They're forced. They create caricatures of our reality.
Yeah, that's the thing. They straw man all of our positions, whereas we steel man all of their positions.
Yes.
Like we give them the good faith version of their argument. They only give the bad faith versions of our
racist,
arguments.
sexist, homophobe. You hate poor people. You hate people. You hate brown people. That's what this is. That's what we have devolved into. But, again, the conclusion of this is you don't hate the media enough.
Yeah.
So, that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
Literally sending answers to Dean. What happens with guys like Dean and guys like Parker? You'll see this during the Fuentes debate. I exposed it very early on. And Parker admitted it. It's 300 on one. See, what happens is they have small Discord collective, and they're all shotgunning points to each other. Parker filters them through, sends them over to Dean, or vice versa. You're never debating with one. You're debating with the collective. When you think about it, how bad he stomped them on those issues, he wasn't just stomping Dean's ass. He was stomping probably the 50 guys in the support network in Discord, plus Parker sending him the stuff live. And Dean's reading it off the screen. Me and Brian Atlas invited him out to whatever. I offered him 20 grand. Jeez. Come to a debate in person. Do you know why they won't? Is because he's an idiot. And if he was sitting across from me and we were in a live debate and you don't have your little laptop now, cell phone, and you don't have people to support, you can't win with what you know, which isn't enough. And those guys get exposed very badly for that. They run from it like the plague. Parker was